Hey there guys, I am SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Splatoon 2. Last time we finished up World 3 and took on the boss of the world. And here in World 4, I decided to change things up once again, change our Inkling design. So we're back to the boy, this time having the ponytailed style look that he had from Splatoon 1. So this design, I don't know, I'm not as big of a fan of because I like the Inkling boy design, just not this hairstyle in particular. It's usually why in Splatoon 1 when I played this character, I always wore a hat for the multiplayer mode. It just, I don't know, the hairstyle doesn't really click for me. It's more of a Japanese style than anything else because I know a lot of Japanese hairstyles are similar to the one that the Inkling boy has. It's just not for me. But we're going around here in the hub of World 4, and as you can tell, there's a lot of bottomless pits here, so we gotta be very careful with our jumps. They like using these extending platforms a lot. So here may be a little bit easier if you use maybe a longer range weapon than the dualies, but I had these equipped, so we're rocking the dualies here for a little bit. So just like the usual, I'm going around for right now and just unlocking pretty much all the levels, just because I find it easier to unlock all these levels right now since of how big these hubs are. So I'm going to just do that. With the dodge roll, I'm trying to make it look more fast, but I'm not a speedrunner, so trying to go fast isn't really my strong suit. At this point, we almost got all the levels unlocked. We got the Sardinium back there. So, Sardinium in this one is pretty well hidden because of it being below another platform. It's a little bit hard to see thanks to the camera, but it's not as bad as like maybe the World 2 one where it's obscured by a whole bunch of boxes. I still think my World 2 Sardinium is one of the hardest ones to find in these hubs, just because of how obscured it is from the camera. But we're almost done unlocking all these levels. I think actually we may have only like one more. I'll find out here in just a moment. There's the boss kettle over there. We won't be going over to that thing for a while, but there's level 19, and looking over my levels, yep, we got them all. So at this point, I can just super jump to all these levels. Now, let me go ahead and change my weapon out. So we're gonna use the charger here just to give me some extra collectibles. So let me go ahead and shoot these balloons so we can get ourselves some free power eggs. And there you go. Give me my 5 eggs. Thank you. Now for the thing I was really wanting the charger for. I'm wanting the charger for this balloon. This thing moves quick, so I gotta be ready. As soon as I say that, I wasn't ready. Good start. Now, unfortunately, this balloon will somewhat pop into bad areas for your aim. So right there was a good example where it got stuck behind one of these extending platforms. So it wasn't the easiest thing to hit because I hit the platform first. And now I'm blocking the path because I hit the platform first. So yeah, these balloons, not the easiest to hit for that reason. But just use the charger. That's the biggest thing I can recommend. Because the charger is probably the best weapon for this set of balloons in particular, just because of how fast they move and how many they throw in areas. You want to use a long-range weapon like this. There you go, we got the scroll. Oh no! Yeah, for some reason, that happens to me every single time I collect that scroll in this game. It's in a really bad spot because it's right on edge, and as soon as you collect the sunken scroll, for some reason you slide backwards, and I don't know why, but it always kills me. But now we're going to go into level 16, the secret bowling alley, rolling through the ink. Time for us to roll deep, as the kids say. How you do, fellow kids? But this level here is actually an introduction to a new type of enemy, and these bowling ball enemies, not fun to fight against, but at the same time, they're not that bad, actually. The problem fighting these guys is that Octoballers only have one weak spot, which is their head, because that's where the Octarian is. It's peeking out at the very top. But most of the time, it's really hard to hit the Octarian just because of the ball itself, since this is a pretty big ball in general, so trying to get to the top of this bowling ball to hit the Octarian, you can hear it right there, is most of the time not going to work, because your shot just bounces off the bowling ball normally, so yeah, that's the only issue I have with fighting these guys, and don't get stuck underneath their bowling ball. The Octoballers do a lot of damage. If you're not careful, you can get stuck underneath one of these things, and they can basically kill you. So yeah, just do your best to avoid them as much as you can. If you gotta kill them, have some good aim, because you're really gonna need it. Luckily though, we're playing this level with just the normal splatter shot weapon here, which I'm glad for, because this is probably one of the better weapons to play through this level with. And since we have the level 2 version now, this is making things a lot easier on us because level 2 version has a much better fire rate than the level 1 version. Seriously, level 1 version of this gun is just horrible. I don't get why they had to nerf it so much. It was pretty good in Splatoon 1 when you started the single player mode, but in this one, oh man, it's just bad. And really, you gotta focus on upgrading this thing as soon as possible if you want to use this in our levels. Also, that was really unfortunate there because I didn't even see the ball until I was at the top of the ledge. So that hurt, but it's not too big of a deal. There's no more enemies around me. Just gonna avoid the other bowling balls and I'll be fine. So, I like the comment here Marie gives, like there are a lot of pinheads because the Octarians do kind of look like bowling pins. So, that's actually a really fitting comment. It's pretty hilarious in my opinion. Just gotta be careful of all the bowling balls, and I don't think I'm gonna make this cycle. Yeah, I definitely didn't make it. So if you're fast enough, you can probably make this in one fell swoop where the platform goes up, and then you can ride it up to the next area, but I swear, trying to make that cycle is not the easiest in the world. I was just barely off, too, as you've seen. If I was maybe a second faster, I could have made that cycle, but sadly, I was a little too slow. So let's move on to our next section of the level here. And this one's gonna introduce a new type of baller, the huge octoballer. Look at that thing, it is gigantic. No way I'm gonna be able to fight that. In fact, if I try to shoot it, I won't be able to because if you look closely, the Altarian is in a glass case, so they're protecting themselves this time around. So the only way to kill these guys now is to use this cannon. So I'm gonna let that one go, and I'm gonna shoot this one with a cannon, and I got him perfectly. So now, while the enemy's still dead, I'm gonna rush over here as fast as possible. Because you need to kill one of those giant octoballers to get to where the sunken scroll is. So if you don't care about the sunken scroll, luckily this area is entirely optional. But I do care about these collectibles because I want 100%. So I kind of need to go on my way and get it. So now we're into our final stretch here. Zapfish is just up ahead. So the final stretch, you just have to avoid a whole bunch of octoballs coming your way, and that's pretty much it. So just gonna be constantly moving here. The biggest gimmick to this area is that the platform's moving left and right now, but they put these geysers at the very end, which actually will destroy these octoballers. So that's the one saving grace about this section in particular. Those geysers, try to aim for those immediately, just because they can destroy those balls. It'll just make your life a lot easier. But there you go. That was level 16 down. It's a really fun level to play through, especially if you're trying to speedrun it, because just trying to dodge all those balls is pretty fun in my opinion. Now hiring egg collectors. No experience required. All ages and backgrounds welcomed. A fun way to make some quick G. Grab a friend and join up together. So this sunken scroll is referencing the new mode that they added to Splatoon 2, Salmon Run. So it's a nice little ad for the mode, to be honest. Salmon Run's pretty fun, and we'll be showing that off in a later video. But for now, we got 5 more Zapfish, as Marie said, so let's go ahead and collect some more. On to level 17, the Octo Commander Fortress, Child of the Battlefield. Oh great, this is gonna be like a Smash game, so you go to the battlefield, no items, it's only Fox. Or am I just thinking Melee? It's probably just Melee I'm thinking of, we're fine. I mean, technically now you can play Inklings on Battlefield because Inklings announced Smash Brothers, thanks to Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. Inklings are probably my favorite new character added to the Smash Brothers series because they're just so fun to play with in Ultimate. They're a technical fighter, so they do take some time to get used to, but once you get used to their mechanics, the Inkling is a really good fighter in Smash. In fact, it's actually one of the best characters in the game right now. A lot of the competitive Smash players actually see the Inkling as pretty top tier. So, no matter if you're a casual fan of Smash Brothers or you're a competitive player, there is a lot of people who just love the Inklings right now. And it's for good reason. The character is just really good. It's definitely one of my favorite new additions to play with. It's one of the few characters I actually have in Elite Smash for the online mode. They're just that fun to play with for me. I'm trying to get better with the Inklings, but it's going to take some time. There are new characters I do like in the game as well, like King K. Rool and Ridley, but I don't know. I mean, maybe it's a personal bias because I love Splatoon, but at the same time, I really think that the Inklings are a fun character to play as. I wouldn't say they're as technical as other fighters, like say Ice Climbers, for example, where you're controlling 2 people at once. I wouldn't say they're that technical, but you have to get used to the ink mechanic. It works very similarly to how it does in Splatoon, where after a while you do have to go into your squid form and recharge your ink. So just like Splatoon, you have to watch your ink meter in Smash because you won't be able to do a lot of your devastating attacks if you have no ink. You can still do some of your attacks like your Smash attacks, but you can't do, say, like your normal shot or throw a bomb without any ink, and you gotta stop what you're doing to refill it. I don't know. I really like the character. I think they're a lot of fun to play as, but now we're getting back to this level here. This is an auto stamp DX. So throughout the level, we've been seeing a normal looking auto stamp, which are just tiny little enemies, which will slap down the ground and try to kill you. The auto stamp DX is literally just a bigger version of it. That's the only difference. You can't kill the DX version, but it doesn't really matter. This thing is so slow, and it's very easy to avoid for that reason. He's really just here to give you the key to go to your next area. That's pretty much his only existing point. So he's not really an enemy at that point. He's more of an obstacle, honestly. But that was that section. Now onto our final checkpoint. And the final checkpoint here, if you just turn around and fall down, you can actually find yourself the Sunken Scroll level. So that's all of our collectibles. At this point, all I need to do is just beat this level, and then we're good to go. So careful, this guy with the Gatling gun, but luckily he's on a snooze cruise, and that makes things a lot easier for me. I can just go ahead and shoot him. So let's go ahead and kill that guy actually with the little tied up string of ink. That was perfect, honestly. I wasn't expecting to hit him. I was just expecting to make a trail of ink. But that was it. That level's pretty fun to speed through as well, because it just, I don't know, the pacing of it's a lot of fun, especially if you get the right cycle of platforms. You have to be constantly moving fast if you want to make the best cycle for each area. So I know speedrunners definitely like to grind out levels like this. When smoke rises from 7 rings, the pink fish will emerge from the sea, devouring all the creatures of the land. The Book of Medea, chapter 10, verse 10. Got some religion in our Splatoon, I see, because that's pretty much referencing the Bible, just with its own take on things. Very, very interesting, to say the very least. Let's go ahead and make our way to level 18 here. So on to our next level, the Towering Heights. Climb and slide. That sounds very interesting. I don't know about the sliding part. I hope I don't slide to my death. So this level here, we're going to be using the charger. I didn't get to mention before, but last level we got to use the slosher, and probably the best weapon really to use for that kind of level, if you want to be honest. I don't really see it working that well with other weapons. I mean, it could for some, but not others. It's probably best to play a cycle-based level. They have to worry about shooting far-away platforms with a long-range gun. And snipers or the bucket, probably some of the best. Maybe even using the Splatling, just because of it having a long range, but the charge probably makes some stuff a lot harder. But here in particular, I think this is a good level to use the charger, because there's a lot of things you gotta hit from a distance. And here I'm actually gonna make a fully charged shot and just shoot him. There you go. Now this is an upcoming area here, but I'm actually gonna break open these boxes now just to make that collection a lot easier. Because as soon as we get to that area, I can just walk up and grab my collectible. I don't need to worry about breaking the boxes, which means more ink consumption. So I'm trying to avoid as much ink consumption as I can. Charge is a good weapon, but man, does it take up ink. That was a really good shot. I wasn't expecting to hit that guy with the charge shot, but I did. I was trying to aim for the balloon, not the enemy. Somehow I got both. I'll take it. Let me throw my curling bomb to make a trail of ink, and on to the next section. This one we have ourselves a ink rail to grind, so this one's pretty fun. If you take out all these enemies, it'll actually spawn some onion rings around you, so I'm going to want to take out all these enemies for some extra eggs. And because we got the charger, this isn't really too bad to aim with. So I can hit him from a distance just like that. And there you go. You want a squid ring? They're morbidly delicious. I question everything. So now they put up one final squid ring here, just to pretty much tell you, hey, jump here. This is where you gotta go. So follow the ring and on to your next checkpoint. This area, oh boy. This area is pretty rough because there's a lot of snipers. So you gotta constantly move here, and at the same time, it's best to have a shield whenever you can in this area because of just how many enemies are around here ready to snipe you. One shot from these guys will take away armor. So you have to be careful. If you don't have any armor, 2 shots will kill you in this section. So I'm gonna charge up some of my ink. And I'm still too far away, so I'm gonna move. That's the problem here. My sniper may be a pretty helpful weapon in this section, but it's still not enough to reach these guys fully. I still gotta get kind of close to these snipers. These guys have a better range than I do. So I have to be very mindful of that. Now, I can't get to him. So what I'm going to do, actually, is I'm going to go around here and get myself another collectible. Because we got ourselves the Sunken Scroll back in the other underground section. But over here, got a ticket. I'll take that ticket. So I'm gonna just ink up the wall here a bit, climb up, and shoot this guy from under here in particular. Just gotta be careful. Alright, there you go. Now he shot. Now it's my turn. And that's that. This is probably one of the safest areas to actually take out that sniper in particular. It's a little dangerous though because you don't have any ground to stand on. You only have the grates to move around. So you have to be very careful there. You can't really move around your squid form, so you're a lot slower. And you can't recharge ink unless you hit the wall. But it's just an easier vantage point in my opinion to hit that enemy with. So that's why I take out the sniper from below. Now they're on our final section. We have to go ahead and ride through this auto-scroller area. This area here is kind of annoying, if you want to be honest. It just takes forever. And the further you go into this area, more enemies start to spawn in. So just be ready at all times to shoot these guys down. And you'll be fine. I mean, the only hard part on this section isn't this portion, it's a portion coming up later. This portion here is not too bad because these enemies here, they do shoot out a lot of ink. They're not really that hard to deal with, if you want to be honest. They put a Sardinium here right in the middle. So just be paying attention. That's a free Sardinium. This is the part of the level I'm not that big of a fan of. This is the hardest part right here. These snipers are not in the best position. So I have to be very, very careful, especially when I'm running low on ink like this. It's not a good moment. There you go. Took out the snipers. At this point, I just got to worry about the sprinklers, which are kind of a problem, but at the same time, if I don't stand right underneath them, they won't kill me. So, yeah, that was the level. At this point, all we gotta do is break open the shield to our Zapfish and get out of here. I would say the beginning half of this level can be pretty difficult, especially with the snipers. But it's that second half that just roadblocks this level for me. I just don't like that auto-scrolling section in the end. If you die anywhere in that section, you gotta do it all over again. So, on my first playthrough, I died a lot to those snipers. And had to basically replay the entire level because of it. That level's not easy. This appears to be a painting from the Middle Ages. It decrypts a great migration of salmon said to occur once every 70 years. Interesting, that's a weird migration pattern, a 70-year gap, but it makes sense. I mean, everyone's migration periods are a little different, I will say that much, so whatever floats the boat. But at this point, we got ourselves 3 levels completed here in World 3, so I'm going to go ahead and end the episode on that note. Next time on Let's Play Splatoon 2, we'll jump into our next level here in World 3, the Experimentorium, which is a big mouthful of a name. I'll see you guys next time.